Jassi was an Indo-Canadian beautician who was born and raised in Maple Ridge, British Columbia. Her full name was Jaswinder Kaur. Her wealthy family was headed by her uncle, Surjit Singh Badesha, in the Fraser Valley, after migrating from Punjab, India. On a visit to the city of Jagraon in the Punjab state of India in December 1994, Jassi met a 19-year-old Sukhwinder Mithu in an auto rickshaw and fell in love. She was the daughter of a multi-millionaire blueberry orchard owners in British Columbia, Canada. He was a handsome kabaddi player from a poor Jat Sikh family. Jassi was visiting her maternal uncle's family at Kunka with her mother and aunt. He was returning home from a match with a friend. They were drawn to each other from the very first look. Next day, he followed her to Hero Silk showroom at Jagraon. While her mother and aunt got busy shopping, he sat behind Jassi. She was having coffee, and upon seeing him, she secretly passed him the cup. And that's how their love story started. Though she returned to Canada, they kept in touch over the next 4 years. In 1999, Jassi made another trip to India with her family, the purpose of which was to arrange a marriage for her. Jassi and Mithu married secretly on March 15, 1999, in a gurdwara when she learnt that her parents had started looking for a match for her. Then she returned to Canada and enrolled in a course for beauticians. She did not reveal her marriage to her family, although she continued to write to Mithu and send him money. A year later, her family discovered the marriage through relatives in India. A villager of Mithu leaked the news about their marriage to Jassi's maternal uncle, a wealthy man who wielded considerable influence in the area, and the matter reached Jassi's parents in Canada. They strongly disapproved of this marriage because the husband was from Jassi's mother's village and belonged to the same Sidhu clan. Traditionally, such alliances among people of the same clan are forbidden. They attempted to persuade her to get a divorce by first offering to buy her a car and material possessions, and then by beating her. After those attempts failed, her family pressured her into signing documentation, falsely telling her that it was legal paperwork which would help Mithu come to Canada. Instead, the document contained criminal accusations against Mithu. Her uncle's family lodged a police complaint against Mithu in February 2000 for kidnapping Jassi and forcibly marrying her. When Jassi discovered this, Jassi managed to return to India and give a statement in Mithu's favor. The couple thought their dream had come true when they started living together, much against the wishes of her parents and uncle. Since goons hired by Jassi's uncle had started chasing them, they spent around 20 days in Shimla and Jaipur, and finally Mithu's family sent them to his uncle's house in Narike village near Mallarkotla to avoid the chasing game. On the evening of June 8th, Jassi insisted Mithu for a scooter ride. It was around 7:30 p.m. Mithu took Jassi for a coffee to Mallarkotla. They were about to reach Narike village when they saw a car parked on the road alongside the local drain. Mithu slowed down to see if everything was all right. Suddenly, 2 men hiding behind the car grabbed the couple. More people joined them and attacked Mithu with swords. Jassi started screaming for help and was pleading attackers to not to hurt him. The attackers continued to thrust their swords into Mithu. Soon, he fell unconscious, and when they thought he was dead, they threw him on the roadside and fled. Mithu survived the attack after 2 migrant laborers passing by noticed him lying in a pool of blood and took him to the hospital. Next day, Jassi's body was found lying in a drain in Ludhiana with her neck slit. As per the FIR registered in the case in the Amargarh police station, Jassi's uncle Surjit Singh and mother Malkiat Kaur hatched a conspiracy in Canada to kill Mithu. They contacted Darshan Singh of Kaunka village, whose son was engaged to Surjit's daughter, and asked him to hire professional killers. During police interrogation of the contract killers, they found that Jassi's uncle and mother had hired the killers only to kill Mithu, and the plan was to take Jassi in another car and leave her at a relative's place from where she would be sent back to Canada. While taking Jassi along, the attackers called up her mother and uncle to tell them that they had completed their task and made Jassi talk to her mother. But she was crying badly and accused her mother of killing her Mithu. She was repeatedly saying, "Mom! I will expose you before police tomorrow. Her mother again spoke to killers and gave an order to kill Jassi-Mithu. The killers were given Rs 7 lakh more for this crime. Jassi was taken to a lonely farmhouse where her throat was slit with a sharp-edged weapon. The Punjab police had sought the extradition of Surjat and Malkiat in 2005, but the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, refused and raised a number of questions about the justice system in India. The matter reached the Supreme Court of Canada after some activists in the country started a Justice for Jassi petition. In May 2014, the Supreme Court of British Columbia ordered Malkiat and Surjit to be extradited to India to face charges relating to the case. Later, however, the British Columbia Court of Appeal blocked their extradition. In their testimony, Jassi's mother and uncle said they did not approve of her marriage with Mithu, who is from a poorer family, but they deny having any involvement in her murder. 2 decades and 2 years later, justice is still awaited. After much wait and international drama and legal fight with Canada, Jassi's mother Malkit Kaur and uncle Surjit Singh were extradited to India to face the murder trial in January 2019. Both are out on bail now. Through all the ups and downs of the case, Mithu, who never remarried, stood like a rock. Jassi is the love of his life. He says, "She loved me more than I can say. I remember every moment spent in her company. She left her riches to be with a poor man like me. How can I forget it?" His family and friends tried to get him married again, but he remained resolute. He says, "When I cannot give Jassi's place to anyone, why should I marry?" It hasn't been an easy fight for justice. He was allegedly framed in more than 5 cases, including one of rape registered against him in 2004. But the complainant changed her statement and accused Jassi's family of pressuring her to frame Mithu in the case. He claims Jassi's family also tried to strike a compromise with him. In 2012, he was offered 14 acres of land and Rs 1 crore through an MLA, but he refused it. He says, "The only wish he have now is to see Jassi's mother and uncle behind bars.